Hello, everyone. So today's case is actually submitted last minute when I'm filming this. I had something else planned for today, but then I saw a comment on my Antoinette Cajairah video of one of you guys suggesting this one that had actually happened this year, and I had never heard of it. And just from what the comment had told me, she's this young girl from California. She went missing at this fast food place, and she's pregnant. And I was like, oh my gosh, I definitely need to look into this. I'm so sorry I cannot remember your name, but you know who you are. So thank you so much for viewing and also leaving this comment. So I decided I wanted to dive into this case. And because it is fairly recent, there's not a whole lot. But there is definitely some tension between the family and police. And we're going to talk about why that is. So I just want to say that I had no idea how to pronounce her name, so I have looked up several news videos of people saying her name, and I heard it pronounced at least 6 different ways. But the one I heard pronounced the most was Kajara, Frice. I am so sorry if I am pronouncing her name wrong. I wasn't sure if it's Cajairah or Kajara. I'm so sorry. So her name is Kajara J. Frice, and that is who we're going to be talking about today. A very freaking recent case, at least within the last 7 months, I want to say. So again, apologies if I pronounced her name wrong, but that is who we're going to be talking about today. So let's go ahead and get into it. So Kajara is a 22-year-old expecting mother. She was due to have her baby boy in March of this year. And her family says that she had so many plans for her and her baby's life and was so excited for motherhood. It was something that she was really looking forward to, and so was the family. They were so excited to be having a baby come into their family. Well, she has been missing since February, and although there have been many issues with her case, it's been 7 months since she's disappeared, and it's so sad to hear the family's quotes because of what they've had to go through because of this case. We're going to get into it, but even now, they are still holding on to hope that she'll just come home, that she'll just walk back through the front door. So they are very hopeful that we can find her and bring her home. So, what happened? Let's get into it. So, Kajara was last seen around 10:39 p.m. on February 23rd, 2023, in the area of Beaumont Avenue and 1st Street at a Jack in the Box parking lot. So, this is a bit confusing right here, which I guess will lead into what I'm going to tell you guys later, conflicting statements and all that. Some articles say that she was upset and she walked away, that she was upset with her family and walked away, but because she had came there with her family, they said that she was fine, that she was just herself. So, Jamel, her dad, says that he pulled up, looked at her, said she was looking at them, and that everything was fine. He said he finished paying for the food, and less than a minute later, she had already vanished. And at this time, she was 35 weeks pregnant. So, less than a minute, you're in I would assume, a fairly public place. You're paying for food, even though it's at night. Even if she wanted to go walk around, all that good stuff, wanted to get some air. She's 35 weeks pregnant. How far realistically is she going to go? And realistically, how fast is she going to walk? I know that there's some people in pregnancy that are just so, on top of stuff. And they can just go a million miles an hour and y'all are great. But I feel like most people, when they are 35 weeks pregnant, you're not, running about. You're not going super far. So that really struck me as weird that this 35-week pregnant woman has suddenly vanished within a minute of her father paying for their food. And I want to say that I am kind of confused. So, from the articles I was seeing, they were in the parking lot. She's there with her family, but I guess she didn't come with them. And then some are saying she did come with them. So I'm not quite sure about that. I'm a little confused. I was trying to figure that out during my research. Um, some say she stepped out to get fresh air. Some say she just stepped out because she was upset. There's a lot of like conflicting stuff. So I'm just gonna go with what her family says, and it's she was fine and she stepped out to get some air. So I felt like while I was explaining that, it sounded really muddled, so I apologize. So, a surveillance video was taken from a nearby charter school, and it shows her walking in the area, but that is the last time she was seen. Her parents said that they searched for her and asked others in the parking lot if they had seen her, but after about an hour, they called police. Now, remember that. So, this is a quote from Jamel about the police and what they believe is their lackluster police work. And he says, they didn't have any information for almost 2 weeks, and we are going out there looking for her, trying to find her, asking and sending emails, and by the time we get a response, it's almost 2 weeks later. End quote. So, Beaumont Police Department, they say they conducted a search of the area, including a field that was nearby, but they didn't find anything. They also conducted drone and helicopter searches. They got phone records and went through that, went through social media postings. Missing persons flyers were distributed out to local and regional law enforcement. This is what they are saying has been done. Also, they sent out word to hospitals in the area, mental health facilities, and shelters, just because, of her condition. She was 35 weeks pregnant. And her case went from voluntary missing persons to a critical missing persons case. So now we're going to get into what I said the family had been experiencing. The family got hit with just a whole lot of social media harassment, and that's partly to blame for the police, because the police made a statement and they said the family wasn't cooperating with the investigation. They also said that the family initially delayed reporting her disappearance while searching for her, and her family, they dispute this. They said that the Beaumont Police Department were just slow in their response, which resulted in the loss of some crucial surveillance footage. And it's also claimed that the family provided conflicting information. And that is what I was telling you guys about. So, this I felt was like so weird, because the family says that for about an hour they searched for Kajara, and then after about an hour they're like, okay, let's call police. I feel like most people, if your family member has gone missing, you're not going to immediately jump and call police. You probably are going to search for them first. And it's not like they waited days or hours. They just waited an hour, according to them, and then they called police. Police are saying that they delayed an hour. Wouldn't Is it because they said? Is it because the police think because she's pregnant they should have called immediately? I'm not sure. I just find it really weird that they said they delayed reporting her disappearance by an hour. I don't really know what that would have done. I don't think police are really on something that fast, if I'm being completely honest. So that was kind of weird. It feels like one side isn't telling the truth. But in the situations of these cases, I am more inclined to believe the family. I don't think they would have a reason to harm their loved one. So I'm going to say the police are just not that great at their job. But they said that the family wasn't cooperating with them, and the family is saying that the police just did not have information for them, so the family had to step up and do the work for the police. And the police are claiming that they've done these drone searches, these helicopter searches. It's just a lot of, we're doing more than you, you're not doing enough, and there's just tension all around. So I think it's really shitty for the police to say that the family isn't cooperating. And the family is getting harassed when their pregnant daughter, is missing is just, it's disgusting. And I think it's really just not okay that they made that statement. And then the conflicting information, saying like the family has given them conflicting information. I guess that's why some articles are reporting different things. I'm not saying that like the family was lying intentionally or giving conflicting information intentionally. Maybe media is just reporting it a different way. But I will say in a lot of articles, they said different things, which is why it was kind of hard for me to just put this together and be like, about a simple situation, were y'all together? Where were you? Why did she walk out? So I don't know uh, if the family is telling the truth. I'm going to be on their side and say, yes, they're telling the truth. But it's really weird just for police to say, they're giving conflicting information, they're not being cooperative. That's just a really weird stand to take. So another quote from Jamel, he says, all these unbelievable things that have been said, that is what hinders us from helping Kajira to be found, end quote. And yeah, instead of really focusing on finding Kajira, I'm so sorry, they're just not doing their job. And I feel like that is so obvious. So the family decided to go public with the help of the Doc Ellis Foundation, which helps minority families of missing people. And by now, Kajara would have delivered her son, something, like I said earlier, her family had been looking forward to. And they're really hoping that Kajara and her baby boy will come home. So, Beaumont Police Department says that the case remains active, with the detectives following all leads, and that they say that their goal is still to bring her home. Anyone with any information is urged to contact the police, the Beaumont Police Department, at 951-769-8500. Again, that phone number is 951-769-8500. So Kajira is described as a black female who was 35 weeks pregnant at the time, stood about 5'7", 154 pounds, with brown eyes and brown hair, and she was last seen wearing a black shawl, a black hoodie, gray sweatpants, and black slip-on shoes. And that is the case of Kajira Frice. Again, I'm so sorry. I know I kept calling Kajira and Cajairah. I don't know why people just cannot get names correctly when reporting cases, because then it confuses everybody else, and also that is someone's name. So I'm very sorry. But what do you guys think? I feel like this case is confusing simply because we have the two sides just kind of saying, you're not cooperating and you're not doing your job. And like I said, I don't know if the family is telling the truth. I don't know if they're giving conflicting information. I don't know if they're being cooperative with the police. Maybe they're not. But it feels kind of weird that, they wouldn't be. That's their pregnant daughter. It just feels really weird that they just wouldn't cooperate, especially when they said, the police wasn't giving them any information for 2 weeks. They had to go out and do stuff. I don't know. I feel like the police are just kind of being assholes in this situation. They claim that they're doing all this stuff, and I will say that the drone searches and all that, I only saw on the Beaumont Police Department website, I want to say, about Kajira. So everyone else just said that they did a search around the field, so maybe they're kind of embellishing a little bit what they've been doing. Wouldn't be surprised. But I feel like police are just being this way, and it's not helping the situation. Because you have the family being harassed, and there is this woman out there who is missing or needs to be found, is possibly dead. We don't know, and it feels like she's being put on the back burner because the police want to have beef with the family. It's just what I'm getting personally. I don't know why you would come out and make that statement about the family. It just feels really weird. But what do you guys think? I'm so sorry if this case was a bit muddled, or this video was a bit muddled. I was trying to make it as coherent as possible, but even when I was doing my research, like I said, there were a lot of situations where I didn't understand when I was making my notes, saying, did they come together? She's suddenly gone. Like, there's just, yeah, the conflicting information thing is what really got me. So I hope I made it as coherent as possible. But let me know what you guys think down below. Please be respectful. You never know, the family members could come across this video, and they're trying to find Kajara and her son. They don't want to be met with negativity. They've already had so much harassment, so just be respectful. I don't want to have to turn comments off. But let me know what you guys think down below. I don't know. It's so weird because, like I said, she's 35 weeks pregnant. You can tell in the photos of her on screen. She has a big belly. I can't imagine her just going so far that she just vanishes. Like, where is she walking to, I don't know. Maybe she decided to go on a little walk for whatever reason, and she came across the wrong person. Who knows? Who knows, honestly? But let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you so much for listening to Kajira's story. I really hope that here soon we'll have some updates, hopefully, whether we find her or something. But I will keep you guys updated. Thank you so much again to the subscriber who brought this to my attention. If you guys ever want me to cover certain things, feel free to drop them in the comments down below. On my community tab, I have a single post. You can drop suggestions there, and I will add them to my list. I'm always happy to get suggestions, so thank you so much for listening to this case again. I'm sorry about the muddled information again, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye, guys.